Eagle Nation, I'm Kristen Neal, and today is Wednesday, April 2nd. Today we'll take a look at news from around the world and also get a look at our foreign exchange students and the process it takes for them to get here. But first, just a few announcements. Today is the last day to purchase your Relay for Life t-shirts in the cafeteria. And remember that if you plan on being in the student leadership class 1 or 2, you must sign up in room 1217 with Mrs. Brown and have your form submitted by tomorrow, April 3rd. Mark your calendars for May 10th because prom is just around the corner. This year's prom theme is Midnight Masquerade, which will be held in the Oil Barons Room at South Fork Ranch. Tickets may be purchased online by clicking on the prom link on the PHS website. Students bringing prom dates not from PHS must complete the form indicated. Prom dates may not be over the age of 20 or under the freshman age or grade. Tickets are $75 each, and anyone who cannot purchase tickets online should see Mrs. Delano for more assistance. The deadline to purchase tickets is May 2nd. You are invited to join our Prosper Fellowship of Christian Athletes this Friday at 7:40 a.m. in the LGI room as we usher in this Easter season. All students and faculty are invited. And also remember that April 27th at 6:30 p.m. Dude Perfect will be here at Prosper High School for its spring outreach. That's all the announcements that I have for today. Now let's take a look at what's going on around the world.
Thousands of Chile citizens were kept out of their beds after an 8.2 magnitude earthquake struck off Chile's northern coast. 6 residents have been pronounced dead, but thanks to President Michelle Bachelet evacuating the Chileans, there have been no further victims. City damages are significant and will take years to repair. While suspicions of the NSA surveillance catching U.S. citizens in its dragnets has been in question since last summer, the National Intelligence Director James Clapper has finally admitted that the NSA used a quote-unquote backdoor in surveillance law to perform warrantless searches on Americans. San Francisco Bay Area will vote on Tuesday on a decision to raise its minimum wage to $12.30, which if passed would be among the highest living wage in the United States.
Late-night talk show host Conan O'Brien brings his show to Dallas this week during the NCAA College Basketball Final Four. Conan taped his first show in Dallas on Monday. Guest star Dirk Nowitzki quizzed O'Brien, and it's safe to say O'Brien indeed does not know the ways of a Texan and can't take the heat.
Here, there are around 28,142 students from all over who come to the U.S. to study for 1 year. The students don't receive any credits back at their high schools in their home countries, but they still come for the experience. Here at Prosper, we have several students who come from places like Spain, Japan, and Italy. Aaron Mraz looked into what it took for those students to get here and what it meant to be here to them.
In a classroom much like this, you may have noticed a foreign exchange student. But have you ever wondered what it takes to become a foreign exchange student and explore a whole nother world?
My name is Clara Ferrante and I'm from Italy.
I'm Rumiko, I'm from Japan.
I'm Sanjit, I'm from Spain.
In my country, you have to have good grades and you have to take some tests to be chosen. And besides that, I guess you just have to be a little bit brave. You have to be self-confident with yourself and be ready for everything.
To be an exchange student, we had to take, of course, an English test, and we had to take interview tests.
I got a scholarship to come here. Was pretty lucky to find it. We found it in a newspaper like almost 2 years ago. And after that, you have to go through a long process. You have to pass tests. You have to keep getting good grades. And you have to go to your country's capital to get the visa and all these documents you have to get. And then you just come here, a family chooses you, and that's it.
I always wanted to come here, so it really means a lot for me. And living this experience, I had the possibility to meet amazing people and a new family to stay with. So it's kind of, I just feel extremely lucky to be here.
I decided to be, exchange student, and then I took tests and I passed.
Well, it was pretty stressful because you have to keep doing that, and keep getting grades and like doing all this stuff for the high school. So yeah, it was pretty intense, and until whenever I first landed here was a relief for me.
For Eagle Nation News, I'm Aaron Mraz.
I'm here with Kathy Riebenbauer, a foreign exchange student from Austria. Can you tell me like the process of becoming a foreign exchange student?
Well, it all starts off with having the idea that you actually want to go to a different country. And then I had to tell my parents about it. They were kind of not really happy about having me leave for a year, but they quickly accepted that this is what I want to do, so they let me do it. And then the first thing you have to do is find an organization you want to go with, which there are a lot of choices, but you just have to go with what feels right to you. And then you have to apply. I think I had to write an essay and fill out basic information about pretty much all of my life. And then I had an interview with the organization, which was a struggle. It was not very.
So, like, how old or what grade do you have to be in to become one?
You have to be high school age. Like, you have to be between 14 and 18.
Okay. What, like, qualifications did you need to become?
Well, the organizations usually want you to have at least average grades, but your grades don't matter that much. The most important thing they're looking for usually is your personality. So you should be a rather open person, preferably friendly and yeah, open to experience something different, and yeah.
And then how, like, do they choose where you're going to go? Like, how do you know that you're going to Texas or you're going to another state?
Well, you don't. You choose the country. I just knew I would go to the U.S., but I could have been, like, in Alaska or Michigan or wherever. You find out the exact place you're going to be when you find your host family. And this can be, like, a day before you actually leave. So I was lucky and got my host family in March, so I knew.
Okay, and then how do you know, or like, how do they pick your host family for you?
Well, you have to write like an application letter and a letter to your future host family you don't know, like describing your personality and what you like to do in your pastime. And then you just fill out like basic stuff if you are allergic to things or if you would not like to live with a family that smokes. And then they just match you and your host family picks you.
Okay, so what's so different about going to school here and going to school in Austria?
The whole school system is different. Like, you can't choose your classes in Austria, you choose your school. So there's schools if you want to become like a teacher, or if you'd like to go into a more sciencey field. Or I choose a business school. So all the classes I have are business related. I have accounting and all that kind of stuff.
All right, thank you for coming. We'll be back after this short break.
AFS Intercultural Program, AUSA Global Youth Exchange, ASSE, International Student Exchange Programs. All these foreign exchange programs bring people together and make lasting impacts on lives. Explore your possibilities.
It takes a lot to become a foreign exchange student, learning an entirely new language, taking multiple tests, and going through the process of getting a visa. It's harder for some, but when it all comes down to it, every little thing was worth it because it's not just visiting another country, but you're living a completely new and unique life. I'm Brennan Bell. Live long and prosper.